fun about Treasury, in my view, is the following. Due to the fact that there are no real hard-coded boundaries of Treasury, leaves a lot more room to do those things than in other areas. That's the number one. So this possibility to shape, to create, to innovate, to really drive things. That's certainly one of the things that makes me personally tick, but I think which is also in general a very exciting part of the Treasury profession. Secondly, I would also not underestimate that pretty unique possibility in Treasury to combine finance know-how, a finance role, with a pretty much external role, like negotiating financing contracts, doing roadshows, presenting the company, all those things which is much more outward oriented, where you have a clear interface which is beyond the normal internal interfaces. I think that's another extremely exciting part of the Treasury trade. And something that I think, when I saw, and we have a lot of people that have been more or less moving into Treasury from other departments. We have a pretty transparent structure. So if you've got a good person from another department, they can join, even if they're not treasurers by trade, but will learn it in getting there. And the feedback we get is that most people enjoy that tremendously, to have that dual role in terms of having the internal interfaces, but also to be clearly very much exposed to the outside world and being at the forefront of an interaction with external parties, being banks, being it investors, or what have you. That is, I think, another very interesting part. And the last one, which I see, is now looking a bit into what makes potentially the future Treasury tick, is about that. I always thought that in Treasury we have a high affinity to technology, things that are now in discussion around digitalization, robotics, platforms, use of systems. In Treasury, you usually have that at a very early stage. Before others even think or talk about it, we had fully integrated systems, we had trading platforms, we had electronic confirmation systems. So that affinity to technology and that closeness to the digital development, that's probably the third part that I would see, which is extremely exciting in the Treasury profession, and which also provides, in my view, an excellent basis for the future growth in Treasury and for the future development of the treasurers in the next 20 years to come.